Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear student, we would like to continue our study about assessment in language teaching. This part will talk about principle of language assessment. According to Brown, 2004, there are at least 5 principles of language assessment. First is practicality, second one is reliability, the third one is validity, the fourth one is authenticity, and the last one, the fifth, is Washback. We will discuss this one by one. Practicality. If we talk practicality, then we can address to a type of assessment, and we'll use this one a test. If you like to talk a practical test, usually practical test is an effective one. So effective test should be practical. Brown says that one. The effective test should be practical. So how test should be practical? The one test, it is practical if the test is not too expensive to run. So no need for you to have a lot of money to prepare that one. If you need a lot of budget to prepare the test, then the test will not be practical. If you like to run the test, make sure that the cost is not high. If not high, then most likely it will be practical. The second one, it can be set as practical if the test can be carried out in a certain time frame. Let's say 90 minutes or 2 hours. But if you like to run a test, but it needs a month, for instance, like that, then for sure this one is not practical. The third one, the test should be easily implemented. So if you like to test, let's say for instance the ability to speak, then you interview. If you are conducting interview, it's easily implemented. You just ask the student and then give some question and then justify their pronunciation, the understanding of the content, and the grammar use and vocabulary use, and so on. So easily implemented. And the last one, practicality, it refers to the procedure of scoring. If you have a test, then the procedure of scoring, how to score the test is difficult, then this one is not practical. So this is the principle, practicality. The second is reliability. What does reliability mean? A test that is reliable shows consistent and dependent result. So reliable means dependent and consistent. However, if you like to do an assessment using a test, then you see sometimes face several issues, several problems. The first problem commonly related to the student-related reliability. If your student conducted a test, then your student is not prepared sometimes, but not only sometimes. Of course, your student will be able to be nervous, will be anxious, will suffer from anxiety. If doing that so your student will be able to be distracted. Your student will be distracted, and then usually if distracted like that, the test will not reliable. Besides student-related reliability, the rater. Sometimes if you like to check the reliability, you have rater. And the rater is too subjective. If the subjectivity of the rater is different from one rater to another, then of course it will also influence the reliability of the test that you constructed. The next one about test administration reliability. If you like to run the test to administer this one, and then the administration takes too long time, I think that one the test have an issue related to the reliability, and for sure it will also reduce the reliability of the test that you have. The last one, usually reliability related to the test itself. If you construct a test and the test is too long, the test taker will take too long time to do the test. And if it is too long, your student will feel tired, and the student feel tired, of course, it also reduces the reliability. Next one, after you know the reliability, you have to consider the third principle, that is validity. Valid test shows that the result of the test are suitable, significant, and beneficial to reflect the objective of the assessment. Here, if you would like to have the validity, it means that if you use the test, what is your objective, and the result of the test will reflect the objective of the test. If the test can produce such kind of result, then we can say that your test is valid. Validity have some type. The first one is content validity. Content validity is related to the content, whether the content is in accordance with the objective or not. If the content of the test are in accordance with the objective of the lessons, then it has a content validity. The next one is criterion validity. Criterion validity can be divided into two: concurrent validity and predictive validity. In concurrent validity, the concurrent validity, it reflects if your test produces a good result, this also will reflect that your student possess higher competence. So this is concurrent. If your test can produce such kind of thing, higher test, it represents the competence of the student, it means that your test has the characteristic of concurrent validity. Next one, about predictive validity. When your test produces a good result and the student who obtain a good result can be predicted, let's say for instance, it is final test in junior or senior high school, then having the test, if your student, let's say in junior school, in the final exam, your student got higher score, and then it can be predicted that next step, your student will be able to be accepted in a higher level and higher quality senior high school. It means that the test has a predict the student future. This is predictive validity. And the last validity, maybe we can talk about face validity. Face validity, I think it is not necessarily tested empirically, because it can just be tested by your naked eye, seeing the format is good or not, easily read or not, and so on. And it is nicely typed or not. This face validity just related to the format of the test, not tested empirically. And after that, we'll talk about authenticity. This is the fourth principle. Authenticity refers to the ability of the test that represent the natural use of language. For example, if you would like to test your student interpreting ability, then the test may demand student to practice interpreting in a conference, so practice in real context. So authenticity demands natural, original. So this is authenticity. If you like to test the student ability to deliver speech, then you have to test the student to deliver speech. And it will be more authentic if it is real speech. Ask your student to join a speech contest and then you justify. This is the authentic one. If it is a class, then the authenticity is reduced. And the last one, what principle of language assessment is Washback. Washback is referring to the impact of the test. And the impact, usually there are two, positive and negative. When your test, you like to conduct a test and then your students suffer from illness because they suffer from stress, and because of stress then suffer from illness, and then we can call this one as a negative feedback. While, let's say for instance, you like to run tests, then your students are motivated in order to achieve high, so it is called as positive Washback. So you have to be cautious to see whether your students, if you provide tests, then your students feel positive or negative, then please you justify that one. So this all the principle of the language assessment. There are 5. The first one is practicality. The second one is reliability. The third one validity, and the fourth one authenticity. And the last one is Washback. This is the principle. If you like to write your assessment tool, please you consider about that. Okay, I think that's all for this session. Thank you very much, and we'll see for the next part. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.